Hey, my name is Todd Bright. Welcome to All in Gestures feedback and Q&A session. We call this Red Line Live, and our regular session is on Saturdays, and you can catch that live or recorded. And our members submit drawings for feedback, and this is our Wednesday feedback session. So welcome, welcome. Thanks for hanging out. And for those of you on Instagram or on YouTube coming in tonight or this morning or wherever you are, yeah, please submit any questions, things like that. This is a drawing workshop, and I also work for Disney and do different things like that, so we could talk about animation or drawing or laundry. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Oh, checking over in, what's this? Instagrams. Yeah, man. Excited. I've never caught one of these. Yee-hoo! Thanks for joining us. Awesome. RW, I see you over there on YouTube. Awesome. All right, so let's get into it. We got some drawings to look at tonight. A lot of stuff. We didn't do this last week, so we got double the drawings. Who's over here in my member chat? Mr. Matt is here. Luke is here. Thanks for joining us, guys. Awesome. All right. This is Mr. Luke's drawings. Yes. This month we did a Epic Universe kind of nod. We went with Mario, so that was our chosen thing. Anyway, Luke, I thought these were really fun, man. Really cool. I like this swinging bat guy. But Luke went ahead and did like a costume or whatever, a character design kind of thing. And so it was really fun. Yeah, Luke, with the swinging guy at the bottom, I really like it. So if I was just going to be nitpicky, and I think you already did a really nice correction drawing, actually, just changing subjects really fast, of the flying guy. I like how you did this more of a streamlined thing. That was really cool. But yeah, I mean, if I was going to be picky at all, I would say just to maybe lift those arms up, man, because I really like this drawing. It's really fun. A great job. You have a nice twist to the torso there. It's going to draw over your stuff here. Yeah, I might just lift that elbow a little bit. Just a hair. I don't know. I like how you have the head over there. Yeah, if anything, maybe even if you were going to experiment, I might lift that leg up, you know? Maybe that's too high, but like thinking like baseball, like lifting that leg up first and getting that twist of the hips, right? But other than that, I really like it. So let's move on here. Here's another one by Mr. Luke. I really like this guy. I think that was really successful. You know, I could really feel like him being burdened, you know, and thinking of the idea. I think he did a great job. Just looking at this guy walking, he looks a little off balance, so maybe we can mess with that. This is one of those things, if you're going to choose to put, and you know, maybe the model gave us that leg in the front. It just looks like he's going to fall over a little bit, almost like he's leaning with his left side, like he's about to tilt over. But he looks like he's about to tilt over that way. Rather than falling forward, it looks like he's leaning over to his left. So how can we fix that? I might turn him a little bit profile-wise. I like that you have his chest out. I love that you're going with the character idea. I love the opposites you have. The left or the right leg is forward, so the left arm is back. That's very good, man. And you have this like happy-go-lucky kind of elbows out thing, kind of like a Mickey walk in a way. So yeah, I might make sure he's not going to fall forward. And if you're going to go with that 3/4 view, which is what you did, so let's try to adjust that. So I kind of turned my whole guy more profile-y, right? And I kick that leg back a little bit. But if we were going to do something a little bit more what you did, I might just arc him like a 3/4. What's your 3/4 view you got? And I'll give him that straight leg, that contact drawing there. I might just still bring his chest back. Like instead of lean his body forward and his leg forward, I might let his leg be forward and his body kind of tilting back and bringing his head back, so we're giving a little bit of balance because he's not really running. This wouldn't be like, this doesn't really look like a running pose. It's a me. But yeah, there we go. But other than that, man, really, really fun stuff that week. Nice job. Anyway, that's all. Just so he doesn't look like he's falling over. All right, Mohi. Really nice drawings. As usual, I really like this guy. This is still our Mario theme from a few weeks back, guys. But this is the whatchamacallit, a bit more of our true to proportion figure model guy who had this. Here you go. I'll show you what it looked like. There's Mr. Ralph from our class. And I made myself a Photoshop background, which was really fun. But anyway, so really, really cool. It was really fun costume that day, really colorful. But just so you can see what that looks like there. But really, really nice, Mohi. I like the feet turned in and the knees out. I just wanted to highlight this drawing. I thought it was really nice acting in it. This one, it almost looks like he could be marching band guy. You know, it's a little poised, you know, and I really like your drawings. I think they all have really nice movement in them, which is really cool. This one, because you can draw, man, which is really cool. But I think my thoughts on your stuff would be really pushing yourself with narratives and the acting, like you did in that drawing I just highlighted. But with these ones, really thinking that action and just going for it, you know. So basically, what I'm thinking here is with this Mario pose, it's just like, I can't do the sound effect, but he's like kind of doing this hero kind of pose, or he jumps, or where he hops off of something, and I think you could all hear the sound effect in our heads. But you got a nice angle there. I would start too, Mohi, like doing it. Let's look at that drawing you did before. I don't want to double talk here. Yeah, I think just drawing a little bit more with anatomy, just to push, to find some rhythm. And I know we're looking for the actions and things like that, and I don't want to get bogged down on details, so I don't mean this as in a stiff kind of way, but just finding the rhythm instead of, and there's something to be said, you know, about straights and curves and simplicity and economy of line and things, but I think we could start getting into a little bit more drawing with anatomy, simply to find some rhythm from using those straights and curves that you're so good at, right? But to draw a little bit more, like get the calf muscle in there, you know, and with the thigh here, you know, here's like the rear end, and then thigh could go into the calf, and you start finding some rhythm, you know, so not stiffening up with anatomy, but using it to find rhythm and getting a little bit more solidity in your drawings, because, you know, you do very well. Draw a little guitar pick head here. It's a me. All right. So yeah, really nice work though. You know, looking at this one here, this drawing. Actually, I think that was the pose that I just showed you guys. Ta-da! Yeah, just drawing a little bit more with anatomy, you know. And you could find those wonderful straights still, you know, like even over here you have this tube kind of thing, these two, but if you did more of and I know he has pants on, I get it, you know, but still, you could still find those variances and things. Well done. Who's next? Dory. It's a more Mario. Oh, okay, so this was Astrid from a couple weeks, or yeah, would have been last week, and we also did the How to Train Your Dragon theme. Okay, so I was looking at your stuff, Dory, and I was looking at Mario, and I was looking at Astrid, and it's this very similar thing. When I was talking with Luke, there's some perspective thing going on with Mario. There's something going on there with Astrid there's something similar going on, but let's just jump into it. Since Mario was on the brain, let's do that one first. I like how you went with the character. That's very fun. Yeah, it almost looks like with his front leg bent down, and this is, I'm thinking like analyzing action a little bit, thinking animation brain. Um, it almost looks like his back leg is stuck in the mud a little, like he's landed, but his back leg is kind of still back there, straight. So if I were to go with your, and this is a little thing, let's just do that. Let's go with what you did. You got some nice, I love this area here on the leg. I think you did really good there. That, feeling that form, really cool. Try to give him the big boots. It's okay that his leg is back like you have, but maybe that leg is bent also. Yeah, it almost looks like since his body's leaning forward, like he's like, come on, leg. You know, a little bit, rather than just walking. And with this arm coming at us, you know, think of, not that I'm a big fan of drawing in tubes and things, but it's a really great tool for breaking down foreshortening. So if he's coming at us like that, okay? It's me, Dory. Looking at your chat. So Dory's our number one chat member. He's always got the good, funny stories and encouragement. But it's a really great community artist. I really appreciate it, buddy. Okay, so all that to say, consider those shapes coming over there. And you could even overlap the hand, maybe not put it in front of the chest like I just did. Depends on the silhouette, I guess you're going for. And I like that you have the head up, but you can even push that a little bit, you know. Maybe he's extra confident. So yeah, I think I kind of did a similar thing with yours as far as the body goes, as far as lifting back that chest a little bit. And I tried to go with your proportions here of the big head, little body thing. And if you're going to draw that Mickey kind of body, you know, you could really use that shape, that tube shape, you know. And you got to really, if you're going to draw those three-dimensional, I'm sorry, three-dimensional. If you're drawing the three-quarter view, really think about the three-dimensional shape that you're drawing, okay? And I like with that leg, I really like that leg there. I think, again, you did a great job with that kind of an idea. But you could draw that pear-shaped body like a Mickey. You know, Mario's kind of that. I don't know if he's that proportions. I have to look at him. The three-dimensionality, is that a word? I don't know. Moving on, Astrid. Yeah. Okay. So let's see, what is she doing here? Looks like she's fighting. Oh yeah, got some cool stuff going on. Dory, you have really good confidence in your line. I want to simplify some of this motion here, and I almost want to simplify this motion. Really finding the leading edge. And yes, her leg is out front, that's fine. Again, I don't have the pose in front of me, but if she's rearing back, it looks like she's holding a weapon. So it's like she might be coming forward with her chest. That's what I'm thinking. And that back leg is dragging a little bit. And I kind of want to simplify that back leg. You could always add those poofy boots on later. I do like the lean that you have there. That's really cool. And maybe she is tracking her enemy with yeah or something like that. Looks like kind of going to stick figure land here. But I'm just trying to look at angles a little bit. But the most important thing is just that idea of, gosh, what did that look like? Did she have a cape? No, she had a hood. And her waist was up pretty high with that leather skirt. So Astrid's the Viking girl from, you can do different things, head up, head down. And then notice I'm adding all this stuff later, which I think you do a pretty good job at. And then she had these skulls or whatever, I don't know. And then her poofy boots. But all that to say, I was trying to get her chest out to kind of get this one swooping line of action motion. You really got to think about these things with these really action-oriented poses to try to tie everything together. Otherwise, you kind of get this angular thing going on. Okay, it's like it gets a little choppy. Good. Does that make sense? All right, Mr. Matt. More Mario. Nice. All right, and then there's this guy. Really cool. Put some color to it. I dig it. Some really nice Mario stuff this week. This is just a general thought, Mr. Matt. Mr. Matt's been one of our longtime members and big supporters. Awesome. Great proportions up until the arms. So I would just as an observation of your work in general, just watch those arm proportions. That's all. They're just getting a little small. And I know we're kind of in a weird world with a very lean Mario, muscular Mario with Ralph, right? So it could be kind of hard to decipher. And I guess it's one of those things you just have to pick a lane. If you're going to go full Mario, then just go for it, you know. But yeah, just watch those proportions. Other than that, you know, you always draw very dimensionally, and when you're firing, you know. It's cool. Yeah, I don't really know what Ralph is doing here, so I'm just kind of... But yeah, just watch those arms. That's it. This one, I think it's fun. You made it really cartoony and fun, which is really cool. I mean, it looks like he's jumping kind of to the side, which is fine. I don't think it's the end of the world or anything. I might be tempted to straighten him a little bit, like superhero style. I might be tempted to really drag, excuse me, that leg and really lift up this leg, kind of coming at us a little bit. Yeah, and I might break that silhouette just a little, just a tad. But these arms look good proportionally. They're a little bit right there. But I know he had sleeves on and all that stuff, but he's got a big mustache. Maybe drag it as he's going up. I don't know. Something fun. I like how you have his chest out. Very cool. Yeah, I might work that a little bit. Looks like I made my arms too long. Touché. But yeah, just maybe leading with the chest, which I think you do. I'm just kind of bringing it back and out a little bit more. And just kind of pushing that superhero vibe. Again, I think my arms got way too long. But you get what I'm saying. All right. Thank you, sir. Erica Bay. Where are you? Where's your drawing? There it is. Okay. Cool stuff this week. All right, what can we do here? So this week, this past Saturday, we did the theme of Harry Potter, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. All right, so I'm going to look at a quick question here from Instagram. What would you suggest for getting out of the habit of drawing characters in the same pose all the time? I feel like I have one face syndrome, but for poses. Mermaid got me out of it for a little bit. Well, that's good. Well, that's interesting that Mermaid got you out of that habit. I think that's a good thing. That means you were drawing a lot. So I would say, you know, repetition and things like that, because it forces you to push things and try different things. So that's very cool. Great question. I would say come to our class. A selfish solution. Or get out and draw people in the wild. Basically, carrying a sketchbook with you, go out and observe life, interesting things people are doing, and record that, you know, and draw people. It starts to file away and build up a little library in our heads, right? Different solutions to familiar problems. And the thing about our class, this is a gesture drawing class. We really focus on storytelling and really getting into the head of the character. And part of that is asking a lot of questions about the pose or about the specific personality or character, whether known or unknown to you. It's like, how would they do things, you know? And I'll just kind of segue into Erica's drawing here. She was like a Hogwarts kid kind of thing. And this one's pretty fun. She was struggling carrying all kinds of books, and her papers are falling down and things. And let's see, what can we do with this Erica? She looks a little floaty, and so and I love the acting. Her proportions look good, but I feel like we could push that acting a little bit. What can we do? It's like simplifying the statement maybe a little bit. This is going to take a little searching on my part, but she's fumbling around a little bit in an awkward way. Just for the record, everybody, she had a costume-wise, she had quite a few layers, but she had a skirt. So I might make that a little bit of haphazardness going on. So I'm kind of leaning here. I know you have her leaning back. I'm trying something different just to do it, Erica. Kind of bringing that book away from her a little bit. I'm just trying something a little bit different with the staging. Actually, it would probably be more hanging open. So basically what I'm trying to do is really just go crazy awkward. But yes, I do like, Dory said to Erica over here in our chat, said, I really like the wand and the teeth. To Erica, yeah, I agree. She had this ponytail. Oh, maybe I can go the other way. What's hitting for me is, and I know I'm kind of going with a different solution to your stuff. I think I'm trying, and this is what I was talking about with the drawing beef earlier, is I'm trying to incorporate the whole body into this fumbling around in this moment. And I feel like there's a little bit of disconnect. That's just why I was trying to get that back arc to do something, you know, and bringing it in. Because I think with this pose that Crystal was in, there are so many neat things happening, right? Don't you think? Like she had the book crossed over, like her arm crossed over her body, and the book was kind of splayed out, and then she had a beaker in the one hand. There was some really cool stuff, but I feel like it's hard to, when you get excited about all the things going on, it's hard to, like, okay, hang on, like slow down and really think about the whole thing. Does that make sense? Like trying to find this motion to lead the eye to the mess. It's like our main focal point, and what's is this disaster, you know? So maybe like you follow this S around, you know, and she's like, ah! That's supposed to be her wand. And the book is here, and then maybe bring this beaker up here, ah! You know? And I almost want to like point to it. Does that make sense? Just finding that motion and really just kind of getting into the crazy moment, even if you have to get out of your seat and like act it out, you know? But yeah, really, really cool. So, all right, RW, what's up? What do we got here? All right, so RW went with a conductor and had a really great question in the submission and asked, when is it okay, or is it okay, at what level, when a student like switches the costuming around and switches the drawing around? Like, to me, anytime. Yeah, if you get inspired, like here you went with a conductor, you were saying. If you get inspired to do that, I say yeah. I think it's always a good time to play outside the box. This one looks like you kind of went with a pose that the conductor was, I can't stand this terrible music, or something like that. trying to, what would that feel like? Like, ah, I don't mind the angle of the shoulders you have there. But yeah, if you get inspired, and it goes for anybody, you know, myself included, if you see a pose and it's just like, oh, that would be a really cool warrior pose of, you know, some alien, I don't know. But like, yeah, if you get inspired, you always want to push that boundary, you know. I think with this, I might, let's see, work on the arm anatomy here. Just, I know it's in a tuxedo or whatever, so I know there's cloth, but just getting a little bit more anatomy going there. Maybe really pushing that out. Like the hands might be more like wrapped around the head, you know what I mean? Like, and if it's a tuxedo you're describing. RW was taking our Hogwarts character and creating it music conductor. So yeah, I mean, you could do the legs together, you could do them farther apart like you have it, that's totally fine. Again, I would just get this almost similar to what we just talked about with Erica, getting that whole body involved in these big motions, you know, and it helps, what helps is thinking of using that line of action, using the whole body to lead the audience, our eye, to the center of importance, which is up here, this, you know, and that's why I think I was drawn, no pun intended, to do something with those legs a little bit to streamline that area. I don't know if that's the best solution with mine, but something about it, you know. But yeah, so there you have it. Yeah, similar idea. Again, just pushing performance a little bit. I like the looking over the head here. You know, I mean, looking over the head. Looking over the shoulder. That's very cool. I'm not sure what this arm is doing. Maybe holding on to a music stand. But I might separate this arm out and really, since that's kind of the main motion, instead of it being back here bunched up, maybe just really, and it looks like the way you have your lovely expression here in the tilt of the head, it's kind of like this moment of soft music, you know, and really, you know, and so like maybe you're really sticking that out there, and this is the main focus is this hand, and maybe there's a delicate handle a bit, you know. So all that to say, it's like asking yourself these questions, and this is even the question from Instagram earlier. You know, asking what part of the music is this? You know, like what part of the symphony is this? You know, oh, it's delicate. Oh, okay, maybe I can have the wrist kind of holding it like this instead of like that. You know, so all that to say, really, really go for it. You know, like, what's your focus? All right, Erica, I like this drawing. Really cute, fun. I love the shapes, and you went with this really fun kind of caricature-y Hogwarts girl. I love the scarf. I just thought it was really fun. So, all right. This one, and this is me being a little biased because of the idea of the pose here with what our model was doing. Like she was getting tangled up. Her scarf got tangled in her wand, right? And I almost want to, it's like she's got the scarf here, and part of, I think the way I even handled my drawing was I had her lean away from it, like there's like a tug of war. There's like a forward and a back. And so her body, the way you have it, is leaning forward, and this is here, and there's no real opposite force thing. I almost want to have a little bit of a struggle there. I mean, I like the drawing and the details and all that stuff, so I'm not talking about that kind of stuff, but like it's kind of like, ugh, you know? And it's simply because if I were to shade all this in the way you have it, you don't really know what's, the silhouette, you don't see that tug of war, okay? So how can we change things? I almost want to give this a bit more of a straight, and maybe pull her head back. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. No, that doesn't solve it either, does it? Maybe I'm gonna drop the arm down, kind of like what you did, but pull her head back. Maybe I'll still try that motion. Again, I really like your fun designs, really cute. But I think, all that to say, I think there's some fun to be had here with some kind of a straight. Does that make sense? So this is the scarf, and she obviously has these big sleeves. Yeah, and I'm trying to separate these two here. Just trying to help that silhouette out a little bit, and like I just kind of made that a clear space, this negative space here. And that's her hand, wand, scarf, scarf around her neck. You can even do something funny where it's maybe wrapped around her face a little bit, like woof, you know, just really exaggerating the situation. So all that to say, cute stuff, but just really consider that those opposite forces, it could be a real powerful thing, you know, like push and pull, squash, stretch, straights versus curves, add some good dynamic. So really nice stuff, Erica. Okay. All right. Lori Sawyer. Oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock. Lori, we're going to keep going here. And Sarah, you're next. And I know you guys submitted, so we're going to keep going. So this is Miss Lori. Lori, I really like this one. I just wanted to highlight it. I think you have some really nice staging here. Off to the side, you have your, I'm going to draw over your drawing. But you have your bowl here. It's a little light, so you're pouring your liquid here. But everything's off to the side. It's really nice. It's sitting on her knee. But this was a good one. So well done. Nice staging is what I'm trying to say. Okay. This one. This is our lady. She's running. 3/4 run right at us, it looks like. She's got arms full of stuff here. And I almost want to do one or the other, because you have like a foreshortened leg here coming at us, which I think we could talk about just from a drawing standpoint. I like your situation here with your elbows. I might bring her head forward a little bit just to kind of get that running motion. Does that make sense? I know this is a bit of a blob here. Ponytail, glasses, got it? It's almost like I'm bringing the arm closer to her body, like rocking her elbow back and bringing her head forward. I'm not going to figure out all of the piles of stuff in her hands, but overall body motion. Her left leg, if you want to do that left leg forward, coming at us, I almost want to, yeah, I kind of want, I was trying to make it work, but I'm tempted to bring it down. And then this leg, I want to bend it. Because in a run, I think at this point in a run, that leg, if that front leg is running forward, and if that's the straight, right, that back leg is already going to be bent up. Okay? And you can do like, there's so many different ways to do stuff, but you could bend it in. You could, like that, I'm talking about that bottom part, or you could bend it out. I mean, you should really go and really frame by frame a Goofy, from, Disney's Goofy, right? His walk cycles, like his legs are like swinging to the side, and it's just, it shouldn't work, but it totally works. And you can do so many crazy things, And her skirt was pretty big. It's like, below her knees, I think. So all that to say, I think you could simplify those runs. We should do an animation exercise sometime. But good stuff, Miss Lori. Thank you for sharing with us. Sarah, you're our last one. Thank you for joining us. This one was kind of cute. I think we could mess with proportions a little bit. This one you submitted, you said you want me to comment on it because you knew the balance is off. But how do we fix it, you asked? So let's talk about it. Thank you for being vulnerable and asking questions. This is how we all learn. This is good. Well, I wasn't over your shoulder to see what order you were doing things in, but like it's one of those line of action things, Sarah, where not that everything has to be extreme. I don't mean it like that, but just really plotting and planning. You know, she's obviously doing something with her hand and the wand there, which is fine. I won't go into the storytelling part, but like if she's leaning forward a little bit, like say the model's doing that, nothing wrong with that. If she's leaning into her action, whatever's going on there. And if that leg is going to be back the way you have it, I don't have her pose in front of me, unfortunately, but if your head is going to be there, that head, and we talk about this, it's been a while since we really laid it out, but balance, right, in the pose, it's like that head and that feet, they better relate, right? So you might have to change things or just make sure that those feet and the head are relating one way or the other, okay? And just like you could even like take your, if you know, I would do this in live poses, but you can even do it with your monitor, just like really put that plumb line, you know, and really look at that relationship with the head. You might see me do this in the workshop. Like sometimes I go like this, and I'm looking, you know, when I'm doing a drawing. I know we're all kind of drawing together, so. And I remember she had that big old, I could see it in your drawing there, big old cape or whatever, big old sleeves. But just make sure those head and those feet relate. And do that early on in your drawing, and that will really help with your things feeling balanced, okay? So, but beyond that, I love all that when you get into your details, really, really cute and fun. Be aware of that early planning kind of stuff, okay? Again, I don't have the pose right in front of me to see exactly what Crystal was doing, but I think the general thing there is just keep that head and feet related, okay? Unless there's something really interesting going on, like that running pose we just did, or you know, where things are, you know, off kilter because gravity's taking you somewhere, you know. But that's it, Sarah. Thank you for joining us, everybody. Well done, well done. Well, thanks for submitting all your work, everybody, and thank you for the questions tonight. And appreciate your time tonight, joining us and hanging out. And we will see you this Saturday. For those of you who are joining us to draw, we're going to be doing one more week of Epic Universe themes, and we're going to be doing Igor from the Monsters one. Sorry, I forgot the name of it, but it's going to be fun. We have Michael back with us, and he's a wonderful actor, and it's going to be really, really cool. So that's all I have to say. All right, you guys. Talk to you soon.